If you're looking to buy an Osmo Pocket 3, or you've already got an Osmo Pocket 3 and you're thinking, what are the best accessories that I can get for this? How can I maximize the performance? Then this video is for you. And at the end, I'll share with you my best accessory that I take pretty much on every single trip and use all the time when using this device. This is the case that the Osmo Pocket 3 comes with. It's actually a pretty nice case and feels good, but there's a few main problems with it. One, it's not very secure. There's nothing actually holding onto the device, and it has a tendency to come off if you've got it in a rucksack or a bag that gets moved around a lot. The final issue is that it doesn't really allow any other accessories other than the base extender on at the same time, which means you have to keep taking these on and off throughout the day if you're filming, putting the Osmo Pocket 3 away and repeating that throughout the day. So what's the solution? Well, it's this little cover right here that goes over the top of the camera and the gimbal and works to protect them both. If you own or you've ever looked at an Osmo Pocket 3, you'll know these are the two most delicate parts of the kit, and they really are quite vulnerable to breaking. So if you don't have some kind of cover, these tend to be the first things that get damaged. That's why it's really important that you invest in some kind of cover for the gimbal and the camera, as any damage to these will really make the device pretty much unusable, and you'll either have to spend money getting it repaired or buying a new one. This one is great because it's got a flap that comes down and protects the screen as well to stop that getting scratched or flipping in a bag and potentially breaking off or getting damaged. Speaking of the screen, I think it's well worth investing a few pounds in a screen protector as well. I've personally not found the screen itself to be particularly vulnerable to breaking or scratching, but for the sake of £5 or so, I'm not really prepared to find out if it is, so there's really no downside to getting yourself a protective cover for the screen. On to something slightly more exciting. This is possibly my favourite attachment for the Osmo Pocket 3, and that's because it opens up a lot more possibility of mounting it. This housing stays in my Pocket 3 pretty much the entire time, except when I'm trying to access the memory card, which won't pop up properly when it's on. It provides some protection for the buttons and the joystick as well when it's not in use, and fits perfectly with the previously mentioned head cover to make sure the majority of the Pocket 3 has some kind of covering or protection when it's away and in the bag. It is worth noting at this point that this is not an action camera. It's not supposed to withstand being thrown around or dropped, although mine has survived 2 fairly concerning falls, and so you'll always have to be delicate with it. That being said, I've never had a problem putting this in my sling and having to worry about every slight bump causing a breakage. Back to the universal casing itself, this allows the Pocket 3 to have an mount at the back of it, similar to that of most modern action cameras, which means that you can put a variety of attachments for it, such as this clip that attaches to a bag strap and allows a more POV style of shot. There's a whole host of other attachments that have been specifically designed to work with this type of mount, so really the world's your oyster, but getting yourself one of these just means that you'll be able to open up a world of possibilities for yourself. For me, one of these accessories is this magnetic mount, which allows you to do some really creative shots if you're looking for a more cinematic style of video. Full disclosure is that I don't use this one an awful lot, as most of the things that I shoot are either like this, sitting on a tripod, or when I'm traveling or walking around with the camera in front of me. However, when I do want to get a different type of shot and a different angle, this is invaluable and really comes into its own. My main concern with this was whether it would hold up the Osmo Pocket 3, as I've just mentioned, it doesn't withstand drops or falls very well. The magnet is actually surprisingly strong and easily holds up the weight of the Pocket 3 without too much concern, and it simply attaches to the back of the universal housing, so it's definitely something that's worth looking into if you're the kind of person who loves those cinematic, unique POV shots that you wouldn't really be able to get with anything else. If you're not holding the Osmo Pocket 3 or attaching it to something magnetic, that's where our next accessory comes in. The Pocket 3 can't really stand up on its own. Well, it can, as long as it has a perfectly flat surface that no one nudges or moves and there's no wind at all. But these situations don't happen very often, and I'm not willing to risk getting the gimbal damage because I put it on a table to record myself and someone happens to have bumped into it. So in reality, you'll want something to attach to the bottom to give it a bit more of a sturdy base to sit on. Here you have two main options. The first is simply a slip-on base. The benefit of this is that it's smaller, lighter, and doesn't need the bottom attachment for the 1/4 inch thread. This might sound great, but the second option is a mini tripod, which, although slightly bigger and weightier, does give you a lot more flexibility when it comes to where you put it. This is much easier if you're taking it outside, putting it down on uneven ground, or just want a bit more flexibility as to where it goes. For you, it'll depend on how you're using it as to whether you opt for one or the other, or just get both so you can choose depending on where you're going. Either way, having something to allow the device to stand up on its own is pretty essential when it comes to filming. A lot of the accessories we've talked about so far have focused more on the device itself, but the final two put more emphasis on the overall recording experience with the Osmo Pocket 3. High quality video, inventive camera angles, and an engaging subject are all great, but without good quality audio, your video is always going to suffer. The inbuilt microphone on the Osmo Pocket 3 is actually pretty good, and that's what you're hearing right now. The sound quality is straight out of the device itself, so if you don't want a mic or you're not doing things with much audio, then this is going to serve you perfectly fine. But if you have got videos where you have people speaking a lot, then it's probably worth investing in an external mic. For me, the quality of the DJI Mic 2 really takes that production up a step. If you already own a Mic 2, great. It seamlessly connects with Bluetooth to the Pocket 3. And if you don't, and you're looking to buy a Pocket 3 for the first time, you can pick up the Creator Bundle, which includes the camera and the mic itself, as well as a couple of other little accessories, the most notable of which is a small battery pack to put onto the bottom of the device. For me, I already owned a Mic 2 when I bought the Pocket 3 and was quite happy charging it with a portable charger when I was out and about. But admittedly, this additional battery pack is a sleeker solution. But yeah, the mic pairs really well with the Osmo Pocket 3. If you're looking for something in an audio space that's portable, lightweight, and not too expensive, this is a no-brainer and an easy pickup. Finally, what's the point of recording all of this amazing video if you can't watch any of it? The device itself doesn't have any inbuilt memory, so you'll have to buy memory cards for it. To view your videos, you can either use the DJI Mimo app or you can get an external memory card reader. For me, the ease of having a small double-ended memory card reader means I can quickly view and move files across onto my phone when I'm out and about, and then when I get home, it's very easy for me to plug it into my PC and transfer it and edit any files that I need to. I honestly use this constantly, and it's probably one of the best pickups that I've ever bought when it comes to tech. So please do yourself a favour and grab one for the £10–15 that it costs. The great thing is it works at any memory cards. This is the exact same process I use when I'm transferring files from my Action 5 Pro as well. There's a lot of accessories that you can pick up with the Osmo Pocket 3 and a lot of things that people suggest. For me, these are the ones that I use a lot of the time and the ones that I found the most useful. But it's always worth considering actually what you're filming and therefore what accessories might be best for you. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you enjoy this type of content, I'd love for you to join the channel and hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this in 2025 and you're wondering whether the Osmo Pocket 3 is the camera for you right now, consider checking out this video up here for my thoughts on its performance. Thanks.